You're about to hear a story that'll make your heart race and your eyes sting. It begins in the dust and silence of a forgotten base, where one woman sat cleaning a Barrett .50 caliber sniper rifle, her fingers steady, her eyes cold, and her heart broken. When the SEAL commander walked in that day, he thought he knew what strength looked like. What he learned next shattered him. Before we dive in, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to her mission Diaries for more untold stories of courage, heartbreak, and redemption from the women who never backed down. The desert wind whistled through the rusted hangar doors, carrying with it the smell of oil, sand, and something heavier, memory. Sergeant Elena Cruz sat cross-legged on a crate, cleaning the gleaming barrel of her Barrett .50. The weapon looked impossibly large against her lean frame, but the way she handled it, it might as well have been a violin. Every motion was precise, deliberate, ritualistic. For Elena, this wasn't just maintenance. It was meditation. Commander Davis stepped inside, boots crunching on gravel. "Didn't expect to find anyone still up," he said. She didn't look up, just kept working the bore brush down the barrel. "Didn't expect to be found," she replied, her voice quiet, distant. He'd seen a lot of soldiers, some broken, some burning out, some already ghosts walking. But there was something different about Elena. Her posture screamed discipline, but her eyes, when they finally lifted to meet his, told a story of someone who had already buried too many people. "I heard you were with Recon before you transferred," Davis said, leaning on a crate nearby. "You heard right," she answered. He hesitated, watching her check the chamber, wipe the scope, reassemble the rifle. The metal gleamed like it was born from starlight. "You ever use one of those out there?" he asked. She paused for just a second. "Once," she said softly. And it changed everything. The silence that followed wasn't awkward. It was sacred. Davis didn't push. He knew that tone. The tone of memory soaked in regret. He changed the subject. "We've got a new operation briefing tomorrow. I could use your eyes on it." Elena gave a humorless smile. "You could use more than that, Commander. This place, this mission, it's about to get worse before it gets better." Something in her voice made him shiver. "You sound like you already know," he said. She looked at him again, and in that look, there was a storm. "Because I've seen it before. Because the people calling the shots don't bleed where we bleed. And because sometimes," she said, sliding the rifle back into its case, "the real enemy isn't out there. It's the ghosts we carry in here." She tapped her chest once, lightly. When she stood, Davis noticed the bracelet on her wrist, paracord and a single bullet casing. He recognized the casing, a .50 cal round, the same she'd used to make the impossible shot 2 years ago, one that saved her unit but cost her brother's life. The report had been classified, but Commander's talk, he suddenly realized who she was. Elena Cruz. The sniper who took the shot that ended the siege at Black Ridge. The shot that echoed across the desert and destroyed her own soul. Before he could speak, she slung the Barrett over her shoulder and said, "Don't look at me like that, Commander. Heroes don't clean their rifles at midnight." Then she walked past him, boots silent against the sand. He stood there, frozen. He'd seen courage before, but this was something else. This was survival, and he couldn't shake the feeling that her story wasn't over yet. If you're hooked right now, hit that like button and subscribe to her mission Diaries. The next morning, the air was heavy with briefing chatter and the smell of instant coffee. Commander Davis scanned the room until he found Elena in the back corner, her Barrett leaning against the wall beside her. Her face was unreadable, but her eyes tracked every slide, every word, every lie the higher-ups tried to dress as strategy. The mission was simple on paper. Extract a captured informant from an abandoned mining town near the border. But Elena's silence said it all. It wasn't simple and it wasn't honest. When the meeting broke, Davis caught her outside. "You're not buying it," he said. She turned. "That map they showed? The grid they marked for entry? That's not an extraction zone. It's a trap," he frowned. "How do you know?" "Because," she said, eyes narrowing, "that's where my brother died. And I was the one who pulled the trigger that saved everyone. Except him." Davis felt his stomach twist. "Elena." She looked past him, jaw tight. "They're sending us back there to clean up a mess they created. And they don't even remember the names of the ones we lost." That night, she sat again with her Barrett, but this time her hands trembled. Not from fear, but from memory. She remembered the radio static, the screaming, the countdown, and her brother's voice saying, "Do it! Take the shot!" And she had. When the mission began, everything unfolded just like she feared. The drop zone was wrong. The intel was false. But Elena didn't freeze. She led, she adapted, and when ambush fire ripped through the dust, it was her calm voice that saved the team. From his position, Davis watched her move with impossible grace, every decision sharp, every shot precise. When the dust cleared, she was standing on the same ridge where her brother had fallen. He walked up beside her, breath ragged. "You saved us," he said. She didn't look at him. "No, I just finished what he started." Then she handed him her Barrett. "You ever wonder what strength looks like, Commander?" she asked quietly. "It's not the one holding the rifle. It's the one who still dares to forgive themselves after they pull the trigger." For the first time since she joined the unit, Elena smiled, a soft, fleeting thing that looked almost human. The sunrise hit the rifle's barrel and turned it gold. Davis nodded. "Then I guess you're the strongest person I've ever met." She turned to leave, whispering over her shoulder, "No, Commander. I'm just still trying to be." The camera fades on the horizon, the desert bathed in firelight, the echoes of her footsteps fading into legend. If this story moved you, hit that like button and subscribe to her Mission Diaries, where real stories of resilience, sacrifice, and strength come to life. Because sometimes, the bravest missions are the ones that never make the headlines.